Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from ShouldIGetIt.com. Welcome to episode 16 of Shooting Cars, the show where I teach you how to take better photos of your cars or your friends' cars. That comes out every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're not subscribed, please do that. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to tint car windows in Photoshop. It's actually ridiculously easy. That's the first thing we're going to talk about in this video. And I'm going to talk about the difference between these two lenses. So if you look at them, there's a huge difference. This one is clearly bigger.
And bigger is better.
But is that the case? That's what I want to find out. So I shot a BMW 428i Grand Coupe with both of these. And I want to walk you through the images. As you can see here on the left, we have a photo taken at 24 millimeters with the 24-70. And on the right, we have an image taken at 200 millimeters with the Sigma 70-200. And I kind of want to compare different focal lengths for you guys so that you can see what it does to the shape of a car and also to the background. So just to get you a little bit more variety, and if you have multiple lenses, to remind you to try them both out. But I want to start this video in Photoshop, and I'm going to show you how to tint windows really easily. So you can see this is just one layer. It looks pretty realistic, I would say. I wouldn't know if someone did this to a photo. I wouldn't be able to tell that someone tinted it. And I'm going to start by first showing you the adjustments that I did other than tint. So I did the brightness and contrast on the ground. Same thing, desaturating the ground. Then I did brightness and contrast in the background, brighten the rims a little bit. Then I played with the colors and changed the colors again with curves. So those are adjustment layers. If you want a video on that, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram at @acarphotographer if you have a tutorial request. But for now, I want to show you how to do the tint. And for that, we're just going to turn the adjustments off so we don't have to worry about it. So first, what we're going to do is zoom in nice and close, and then we are going to use the polygonal lasso tool to select our windows. So go to lasso by hitting L right here, and make sure you hold down and select the polygonal lasso tool. Then we're going to click in the windows that we want to tint. So we're just going to click around them like so, and make sure that you have multiple points for each straight line because they do curve a little bit. So then connect them together and we're good. And then what you're going to do to add to your selection is hold shift, and you'll see this little plus sign pop up right here. So again, hold shift, that plus sign pops up. Start right there, and we're going to click around. So I'm going to do this for the rear window and then the front window, and we will continue. All right, so once we have the final window selected, we are going to click to make sure we have the marching ants kind of going around each window. You can see right there, we're going to control click. I'm going to feather these by about 8 pixels just to make the selection a little bit smoother, not as straight in the lines. And then what we're going to do is select our background layer where we have the car, hit copy, and then hit paste. So Command C, Command V. And now you can see we have a layer that is just the windows. And this is where it gets really easy. You just rename this, so we'll call this windows. Then double click, and there is this setting here called color overlay. So we're going to hit that. And my color, you can see, is selected as black. Yours might be red or blue or something else. I'm not going to do a color tint. If you want to, you can just select the color, but I'm going to go down to black, and then all we have to do is change the opacity to change how much tint we want. So here's 0, this is no tint, then 33%, and then 100 would black it out completely. I don't recommend this because I don't think it'll look too real. So I would recommend staying around 30 to 50. So I'm going to do 42 right here, then turn on the car, which is the background layer, and now we have tinted windows. And I don't think this car would have that dark of a tint, so what I'm going to do is double click again, go to the color overlay, and bring this down to about 24%. And now you can see when I turn off the tint windows layer, there's the original and there is the tint. So this is really, really easy to do. I think it looks fairly realistic, and keep in mind you don't want to overdo it. So just add a little bit of tint. Make sure you get all the windows that would be tinted. In this case, most people around here do not tint their windshields, which is why I didn't do that. But if you are doing the rear 3/4 of a car and you are only tinting the side, remember to tint the rear as well so that all the windows kind of match up. Or if you have a shot from above, make sure you tint the sunroof. So don't forget to tint one of the windows. Or if there's like a tiny corner window like this, don't forget to tint that as well. Because then people will either think that some shop did a really terrible job on the tint, or if you tell people you photoshopped it, it's not going to look that great. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little tip. Show me what you come up with on Instagram. Either tag me or DM me at @acarphotographer. And now I'm going to go in to Lightroom and just kind of walk you through the different focal lengths and what they do to an image, starting at 24 millimeters. So this is all with the same car, same location, same lighting. It's all taken within, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes with 2 different lenses. So here is 24 millimeters. If you guys want to see the focal length, you can just look right here at the top left. So that's 24 millimeters. Then we have 35. It doesn't make too huge of a difference, but you can see at 24 it's pretty distorted. 25 the car looks a little bit straighter. Then at 50 you can see the front of the car, the hood gets longer, starts looking more like the real BMW 428i Grand Coupe. 70 millimeters becomes even more realistic looking. Then 85 probably is the most proportional looking, I would say, to real life, how I envision the car. And then 100 doesn't stretch the car, it doesn't distort it, but it makes it look a little bit sleeker. And you can see right here, if I put them side by side, that there is a difference in the way the car looks between the 85 and 100 millimeter shot. So keep that in mind. If you have a telephoto lens sitting around, you might want to get a polarizer for it and start using it. Here's 135 millimeters, and here's 200 millimeters. So you can see that the car shape differs. Now I understand that the amount that the car is taking up in each frame changes a tiny bit between the frames because I didn't do them perfectly, but you can see that there's a big difference in both the car shape and the background at 24 millimeters and at 200. And so the biggest difference is how much space there is in the 24 millimeter. You can see that there is no compression in the background here. Here you can understand that there's a huge gap that you could probably fit another 10 cars between the fence and the BMW here on the left side. On the right side, it looks like you could maybe fit 1 or 2 cars or maybe no cars at all, because what happens as you zoom in is the background starts compressing, becoming more flat and coming in towards your subject. So that actually creates a shallower depth of field and makes the car pop out a little bit more. So keep that in mind. Even if you only have one lens, if it's a zoom lens like an 18 to 55, zoom in all the way and see what that does to your images, because it will totally change it, and it's a good way to get the car isolated from the rest of the background. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Shooting Cars. If you have any questions or want tutorial requests, either leave a comment or DM me on Instagram at @carphotographer. I know for a lot of you guys, shooting black cars is difficult, and it is very difficult for me as well, but you can see it turned out all right in that image on the right side. So I'm thinking I might do that in a video, just kind of go over various settings and stuff. But the thing is, I don't want to make videos too expensive for you guys. And what I mean by that is I don't want to make you have to go buy a 70-200 or an expensive strobe, or, you know, get an assistant for panning shots or whatever. But if there's something you want to know and you think I can teach it to you, let me know. I'm always willing to listen. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next week at 9 a.m. Thanks for watching.